I think this might be a different type of review than you might be used to. Before purchasing my unit, I watched a lot of reviews. Unfortunately, in most of them, the reviewer had received the litter box as a promotion from the company. I paid for my litter box, so my review is not being influenced in any way. I won't go through the unboxing since I covered that in a previous video. Since I had an issue with the box, I'd like to start with their customer service. For some reason, the litter box was not cycling through. As you can see here, it was slowly rocking back and forth and was not emptying. It turns out it was going through its leveling cycle rather than the clean cycle, but of course I had no way of knowing that at the time. Based on their response time, it's a pretty accurate guess that their customer service team is located out of the United States. Their replies came between 3 and 4 a.m. with Asian text, which means you won't get prompt replies, and there seemed to be a general lack of understanding of my issue. I was asked to send a video of the problem. I sent the video you're seeing here. Clearly it's not emptying, but the response came that it's working perfectly. And if it rotates 360 degrees, a litter will fall out. We went back and forth before I could make them understand the problem, at which point they told me that it was going through the leveling cycle. Well, by that time I'd already figured it out, and they still didn't tell me how to fix it. It seemed to correct itself after I activated it several times with the app. However, it still doesn't work with the push button. The unit is very quiet. It's just a light hum. The scale function appears to be very accurate. Using the app, I'm able to see when my cat has used the box and which of my 2 cats it was based on their weight. However, there are times it records completely different weights, and I assume the cats may just be placing their paws in and don't completely enter the box. Here's a major problem I encountered. So this keeps happening. I don't know if it's the nature of clumping litter or the nature of this design of a cat box, but it doesn't do a lot of good if every time it tries to clean, it just sticks to the inside rather than dropping into the deposit box. I tried another brand of litter, Arm & Hammer Slide. It was a little better, but as you can see, it still has a sticking issue. This is the biggest problem with the rotating operation. There's no rake to physically remove the waste. As for the smell, there's only so much you can do to mask the odor of feces sitting in a container. I find myself emptying it daily to control odor.
And by the way, there are no sensors that I know of other than the weight sensor. One time my cat stuck his head in there. He was curious while it was going back. And you can see it's close against the wall. I was really afraid that this thing wouldn't sense he was there and he would be injured.
Now you can see my litter is not going above the gray line. But in back, it doesn't tip all the way forward. It doesn't level it perfectly. So this screen, the door, does not push back when the cycle's done. That way, when it cycles through, what happens if that's already hanging forward, a lot of the litter just goes behind it and it doesn't get sifted. So here's another example. I walked in the room, smelled a little bit. I can see there's still some lumps in there and it must have worked, but look at how it messes up the inside of this, which tells me that I have to clean again. And if I have to clean, why do I bother having an automatic litter box of this type? It's even worse than I thought. Look at that mess that I have to clean up now. If you're buying a litter box with the expectation you can leave it for days or even weeks and it'll take care of itself with no issues or odors, I think you'll be disappointed. If you simply want to be able to maybe take a weekend vacation and know that your litter box is probably taking care of most of the waste, this will work for you. Overall, I like the operation of the app. It does monitor the use of the box, and it works when I want to have it cycle through or level the litter. The leveling cycle really needs work so that the sifting door can go back into place. There needs to be a way to keep waste from sticking to the inside of the box. Without a rake or scraper of some sort, there is no guarantee the box will work 100% of the time. If I have to check the box daily, and sometimes even clean and wipe the interior, I may as well have a traditional box, which is much easier to clean. Overall, the box does what it says it will. I don't know why my button function doesn't work. I don't like their customer service. And of course, the issue of the waste sticking to the inside of the box is a real problem. I don't know how that can be overcome since it relies 100% on gravity to do its job. If you got anything from this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help new channels like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you here next time on the Callie Cat.